Our guest today is a remarkable individual whose work spans literature, yoga, and journalism. She is an award-winning author known for her insightful books on contemporary Indian society and a renowned yoga acharya who has led sessions worldwide. Named one of the BBC's 100 most influential women, she is a dynamic force in both wellness and social advocacy. Let's give a warm welcome to our guest, Ira Trivedi. Welcome, Ira. Welcome to our show. We are honored to have you here.
Namaste. So happy to be here.
Yeah. Been looking forward to this day for so many months.
Same here, especially because you're a yoga lover. It's just amazing.
Yes.
So happy to be here.
Ira, out of all the books which you have written, which one holds a special place in your heart as your personal favorite?
I've written several books now, 11, 12. They've been novels, non-fiction, children's books, books on yoga. I must say that the most easy and natural books have been the books on yoga. Like especially I have a book on Om the Yoga Dog. It's a small dog who does yoga. It's a children's book. That book, I wrote it in hours and it was published around the world with such applaud. And I thought to myself, my gosh, this book that just came in a state of flow has done so well. Many of my yoga books have been like that. They've just come in states of flow in such ease and they've created a great impact. Then there have been the other ones that have been so difficult. India in Love took me 4 years to write. Really, that book took
4 years to write?
4 years. And 4 years where I was spending a large chunk of my day writing and researching this book. But that book really did give me, it was like a labor of love. Blood, sweat, and tears went into that book. But that, what I felt after the book was also a great sense of achievement and self-accomplishment, that I was able to write this kind of a book, which was so heavily researched, which was really had a true social message in it. And even till today, that book is used by so many, scholars of PhDs, used in so much research, because a book like this doesn't really exist so far, that has looked at India's cultural revolution.
So you had to travel also to research the book?
Absolutely. I traveled to almost, 15 different states of India, looking at what was happening with love, with sexuality, with India's sexual revolution.
Okay, so the India in Love you're talking about.
With India's sexual revolution. This was also the time of Nirbhaya, when that incident happened. And that also was really telling of the book, because that was also my thesis. There's a huge change in culture in India there, and which has led to a huge sexual revolution. And one part of sexual revolution is sexual violence. A lot of sexual violence, and that was really coming to the surface at that point in time. So that was the same time that I wrote India in Love.
Yeah, so that's like too much of effort put into one book. So that must have been, of course, we've been hearing so much and there had been quite a discussion on that book.
Yes. And it was great. It was on the cover of Outlook magazine. Really, it was that book really had, really had a great impact. And I think also on the narrative and around sexuality and what's happening in India, it helped people understand it. And that was what my objective was with that book.
So with all the research which you did for that book, there must have been some criticism and backlash which accompanied that.
The day before the book came out, I remember just sitting in a corner.
Were you anxious?
And crying and being so scared in my heart. When this book comes out, what are people going to say? It was really a moment that I sat and I was in a state of paralysis and fear. This book is coming out tomorrow, and what are people going to say?
So did something like that happen actually? Which terrified you on this book?
It was not the terrifying. It was just the kind of things that I was talking about. I was talking about sexuality. I was talking about sex. I was talking about rape. I was talking about really tough topics in that book, which were important to understand Indian society. But I was not sure how it was going to be accepted. But everything went well. And I think I was so happy that the book was really accepted, was really critiqued in a positive way. And that book came to a lot of help. Like, it really helped a lot of people. And I'm so glad about that.
Can you share some personal stories or moments of empowerment? Although my journey, personal journey, had also been of empowerment. But then,
course.
what motivated you to investigate? I mean, the issues like bride trafficking, and which is actually a serious, very serious
Very,
concern.
very serious concern, and I feel like we aren't hearing about it enough, and it's actually growing. You know, all of these, and just, you know, even abortion, even, you know, female feticide, all of these issues
Growing or going down?
They're, you know, the data is unclear, but if you go in on the ground, you'll see that these issues are actually becoming worse because technology is increasing. So now there's very easy ways for female feticide. You know, there's a lot of easy technologies. Machines are easily imported and easily, you know, they're this big. You'll have tiny machines now that can actually be able to tell the sex of the child, and forced abortion, things like that. It is an issue. Bride trafficking as well, because you know, so much of urbanization, so much of migration, such huge migration from the villages into the cities now with development, that a lot of these, you know, this is a result of a lot of that, and I've explored all of this in India in Love. So yes, it was tough, but as I got into these issues, I began to understand that these stories need to be told. And the first step is awareness. If we are not aware of any of it, then we're not going to be able to fix the problem, because we don't even know that it exists. So that was really what I was trying to do with India in Love. And throughout my journey, you know, even with yoga now, really the focus is on creating female yoga teachers. And we saw in our teacher training programs that these women that we would train, they could now go on to Zoom and start teaching the day after they graduated. And that salary that they were making, whether it was 10,000, 15,000, it made them feel empowered. They had an income of their own, which was not of their parents, not of their husbands, but of their own. And they could take that and do what they wanted with it. And that in itself was a really important step in their lives. So the same thesis, the same motivation which I wrote my books, actually now I'm trying to bring that into yoga. And I do think that women make better yoga teachers than men.
Exactly. So I also feel so, although I don't want to sound biased.
Yes, and even your daughter is a yoga teacher.
Yes.
That's great.
But then why do you think women make a better yoga teacher? They're more compassionate, or?
More compassionate. I think just biologically women are teachers. You know, from the moment their child is born, they're teaching them. You know, a child's first teacher is the mother. So, and a mother is a woman.
So, Ira, your writings often tackle sensitive issues about gender and society. How do you deal with the criticism and the backlash that sometimes accompanies them?
Gosh, there has been a lot of backlash.
Yeah, a lot of
right from the first book that I wrote, which was about Miss India, and then and I had changed names, but it was very evident who was who. And as we all know, the Miss India is run by a major media house. So I remember even then, you know, right from the first book, always some kind of backlash. And earlier it was really heartbreaking when I saw those reviews or whatever. But then over time, you begin to realize it's all noise. You know, it's all noise. Newspaper, it's there today, gone tomorrow. Just like an Instagram post or anything, you know. So you begin to realize that in the journey of life, they're not even commas. You know, comma se bhi chota hota hai ye. So
There's an old movie dialogue, if you remember. Badnaam honge to naam to hoga. So, Ira, your work often delves into issues of gender and empowerment. How do arranged marriages intersect with these broader societal concerns, particularly for women?
Marriage is the #1 responsibility of an Indian girl. I think, unfortunately, that still exists more than anything else. And that's why the number of women entering the workforce is so low. You know, in India, the number of women in the workforce is at par with countries like Sudan, Tanzania, you know, like really underdeveloped countries. And that's because of marriage. Because here, for every Indian girl, it's like her first responsibility is to get married, not to work or not to become independent financially, mentally, or emotionally. I think that's still a problem. I actually feel like there should be a law that women cannot get married before the age of 25.
When we talk about marriage, the changes which we are seeing in the society, we also talk about the AI. How is it affecting the kind of workspace everywhere. So do you think the yoga teachers would be replaced by AI someday?
I think the touch of a teacher is still really beautiful. I think AI will make it easy for yoga teachers.
How?
You know, yoga, because just, for example, creating protocols, personalization for students, and being able to give personalized, because yoga is also every body is different. You know, it's not one size. Yoga is
Correct.
not one size
It's very
fits all.
customized.
It is very customized and personalized, and I think AI will be able to help with that. Be able to customize yoga for every single body as per the requirements, like nutrition. What may be 1 calorie for you is
Yes.
not 1 calorie for me, actually. It's not the same.
Not at all.
Not at all,
actually.
because everyone's metabolism is different, everyone's constitution is different. So that's what I think AI is going to help with. It's going to help customize yoga for bodies, and that's a great thing.
So you said that discipline is a very important component for practicing yoga. I mean, I think discipline is something important. So what discipline are you talking about or the message which you want to give to other women as a part of an empowerment, financial empowerment, about exercising on their wealth, on long-term investment, or how do you deal with the wealth?
So I always say कि आप एक अच्छी आदत जब adopt कर लो तो आपकी जितनी भी बुरी आदतें वो चली जाएंगी. And that is a habit of a yoga practice, because that habit, that discipline of waking up every morning and getting on the yoga mat is the best decision that you've made all day. It's the best thing for your body, it's the best thing for your mind, and it's also the best thing for your soul. And वही जो आप चीज़ शुरू करोगे, उसके ही इतने magical responses आएंगे. और ये तो, meaning this is what people have been saying for thousands of years. Thousands and thousands of years. And now across the world, people are saying it.
Yes.
Meaning आप जग जगह जाओ यहाँ पे, from New York City to Tokyo to Switzerland to even Africa, Morocco आप जाइए, वहाँ पे इतने अच्छे अच्छे योगा स्टूडियोज, सब लोग योगा कर रहे हैं और सब लोगों को यही same results मिल रहे हैं.
But how do you apply the same discipline to your wealth management?
So when it comes to wealth management, I think that once you start building discipline in your life, that same discipline will go into food habits, will get into your wealth management. Your life becomes streamlined. And financial management is such an important part, especially for women.
Yes.
Especially for women, because it's disregarded. You know, and for such a long period of life, you just remain, you know, don't even think about it. Like even for me, I remember in my early 20s, I would not even file my taxes.
Whoa.
You know, I would not file my tax returns.
But were you started working by that time?
I would get income. I would have income. And if I'd filed my return, I would be getting money back.
Okay.
I would be getting money.
The refund of the tax.
I would be getting refund.
Yes.
But फिर भी नहीं किया, इतने सालों से नहीं किया.
Okay.
So small things like this, you know, it's so important to educate people on the basics of, you know, and I really feel कि सबको स्कूल में ही एक कोर्स होना चाहिए कि टैक्सेस क्या होते हैं, आपको क्यों करना चाहिए और उसका क्या होता है. You know, just not even taxes, basic financial management. कि once you graduate from here, you know, once you start earning an income, which you should be doing after school or college, then how do you allocate your money and how do you start planning for your life? So because financial planning for so many people, it's why they go to work every single day and spend most of their life earning money. And how do you manage that money? That should be taught to every single person.
Ira, it is a difficult question, but where do you feel stronger sense of achievement, as an author or as a yoga professional?
Gosh, they're so different. You know, they're so different. And again, it comes down to choosing one of which child will you choose.
Yes. But then
you know, at the moment, the need of the world is yoga.
Okay.
I feel really, because life is moving very fast. There's so much toxicity in our environments. So the need of almost every human being is yoga. So I'm spending a lot of my time in this space. Earlier, a few years ago, it was all writing. But I feel that now what I do is also met with the demands of the world. You know, what the world needs today, I'm going to be at that place.
Actually, the world needs more of yoga, knowledge imparting here and there.
That too.
And the correct yoga technique. Basically, people do also, some people do, but
Absolutely.
then didn't follow the proper process of the breathing. Breathing is a very important thing, which we all miss.
Absolutely. So I think now, you know, now I'm blending in the writing to support the yoga, but that's the journey right now. Let's see what happens. That may flip in a few years. So just following the stream of life.
But your whole journey has been very inspiring so far and would continue to be so, I'm sure. I mean,
Thank you so much,
the
Divya.
words are falling short,
So-
but then so much of admiration for you.
Thank you so much, Divya. Same to you. You know, doing such a wonderful job, and your own story is so inspiring. And I hope many women follow your path and the knowledge that you've been imparting.
Thank you. That's like something which would motivate me to do further.
Absolutely.
All right, Ira, we have covered some serious grounds, but now it's time to lighten up things and have a bit of fun. Welcome to the Get Quirky with Divya segment. Ready for some rapid fire questions and peek into your fun, quirky side?
Yes.
So, Ira, the author or Ira, the yoga professional, who do you like more?
Yoga professional at the moment.
Surya Namaskar or Shavasana?
God, that's a tough one. Shavasana.
Mera bhi Shavasana, yes.
Shavasana.
What's the most unconventional place you've ever practiced yoga?
On a private jet.
Really?
Yes.
ये सच है?
Yes, ये सच है. Videos भी है.
Which Bollywood movie do you think best represents contemporary Indian society?
Queen, made by my husband.
Wow, you भी publicity. I'm sure you must be watching the show. Can you tell us one thing about yourself that we don't know?
I love chocolate and I eat quite a lot of it. Contrary to what I would imagine for a yoga teacher, but I love really, really good dark chocolate.
Wow. What's your most used emoji?
It is an orange heart. Not a red heart, but an orange
Why
color.
orange heart?
Saffron heart. Little yogic.
Citrus heart, vitamin C. Most exciting date that your husband took you on?
Why am I having to think about this for so long?
Because it was 10 years courtship. So
I know, that's true. It was a 10-year courtship. This was a long time.
maybe the first one or after the 5-year break?
After the 5-year break. Well, the way he proposed to me was he told me that we're going to I just finished teaching a yoga class and I was wearing yoga clothes. And he says, Ki bas, I have to take you to meet some friends just upstairs. And we go upstairs and there's this entire big, huge arrangement. It's at Soho House, Bombay. And then he proposes to me out of the blue. So that was like a big, you know, I was just finished doing yoga and, you know, just like that. And that's
So
how that
were you in
happened.
trance or something?
I was quite shocked. And I'm not someone who gets shocked easily. So that was that.
Apart from yoga and reading, how do you unwind?
Sleeping.
Shavasana.
You know, not even Shavasana, sleeping, actual sleeping and reading. I love reading books.
So next one is quite interesting. Since you grew up in Lucknow, what is more interesting, the chicken you eat or the chicken you wear?
Definitely the chicken you wear.
Okay. If you could switch lives with any other fictional character for a day, who would it be?
I love reading, so, you know, and especially one of my favorite books, like Love in the Time of Cholera. I'd love to be in that book for just one day to just, you know, to experience that.
That was an interesting answer. Can you share any unique hobby that you pursue? Not that we know of.
A unique hobby that I pursue. I love horse riding.
Wow.
I love horse riding.
So you practice it?
I try as much as I can to do horse riding. I don't get as much of an opportunity now, but anytime I'll get on horseback. I love it.
Wow. Having stayed in multiple cities, if you could live in any city in the world, which one would you choose?
I just got back from Ubud in Bali, which is a small little town, which is just amazing. Ubud, the name itself means medicine. So I'd go stay in Ubud, Bali.
What's your guilty pleasure TV show or movie that you secretly love? It cannot be Queen.
Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones.
Lastly, Ira, since the Gen Z slang and terms are a thing now, so let's quickly ask you a few slang and you tell us their meanings. Difficult hai, thoda.
Thoda difficult hai, but try karenge.
But interesting. Drip.
Drip is something that's cool.
Okay. So someone who's cool. That's
or something that's cool. That's drip. Yes. That's something cool.
Bang on. Goat.
Goat is the greatest of all time.
Nice. Bet.
Bet is maybe like you bet, like a yes.
Okay, agreed and okay. Slaps.
Slaps is maybe that I don't know. Slaps I don't know. Maybe like something that's funny.
So to be excellent.
Okay.
Jomo.
Joy of missing out.
Very nice. So
that
basin.
means if you don't do yoga, Jomo.
Basin.
Basin is something that's cool.
Basin is extremely good.
Okay.
ठीक है अच्छा try चल रहा है. Glow up.
Glow up means like a step up, glow up.
Transformation.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. So, we end this here. All right, Ira, we've had an incredible discussion today. But as we wrap up, it's time for our final segment, Challenge Accepted. Are you ready to take on the fun challenge?
Yes.
So, let's start with your favorite pose. Maybe pose down.
Perfect. My favorite pose is a Shirshasana, the headstand.
Wow. Oh my God. You make it look so simple and so easy. Wow. That was incredible and amazing. Thank you. Once she nails it, it's your turn. Share your attempts on social media, tag Ira and our show on the reels using the hashtags. And let's inspire each other to push our limits. The challenge is on. Let's see what you have got. Thanks, Ira, for sharing your inspiring thoughts with us today. We've got something for you. And it's a cool poster from the show. Mind adding your signature to make it extra special?
Of course.
Come on, let's go. So this one is for you. And
Wow. I love it. Thank you. Great.
that's it?
That's
Some message?
it.
Wow. So simple and nice. So organic. Thanks, Ira, for joining us. Your journey is truly inspiring and actually an eye-opener for all of us. So I'm sure the viewers out there are also energized and motivated the same way as I am today.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's all for this episode, folks. Keep challenging yourself, stay motivated, and tune in to next time for more inspiring stories. If you found the insights valuable, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Listen to the full episode on Spotify. Looking forward to continuing the conversation with you. Until next time, stay healthy, be wealthy.